we're bringing you EduTalk. This is a very important discussion we ought to have. Heading into the 2024-2025 academic year, we're introducing a new curriculum, especially for SHS and SHTS, and there are a lot of questions that are being asked, and all those questions you get answers to tonight right here on EduTalk on this channel. And tonight, my guests are Professor Yayira Jakaji. He's the Director General for NaCCA, and also joining us in the studios is Mr. Reginald Korte, is Director for Curriculum at NaCCA. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
I must say we are live on all our social media platforms. You're on myjoyonline.com. So all your questions are welcome. This is a good time for you to send in your questions wherever you are and get answers to them as you prepare to take your wards to school starting this particular week. It's been quite a year, months leading up to where we are today. Prof, how has the journey been, you say?
Well, it's been so tough, but we have reached the conclusion, and we hope to roll out the new curriculum starting tomorrow. The new learners go into our classrooms. We'll have to start a new curriculum. Yes, so basically that is what is going to happen starting from tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Mr. Korte, so the journey, Prof has told us, but really you are in charge of curriculum as well. Some have said why the need actually for this curriculum and all, but let's talk about the journey so far. How has it been on your side, where you sit with the team?
Yeah, so for me, it's been a roller coaster kind of thing. So this senior high school curriculum we are rolling out is a sequel to that of the primary school and then the junior high school one. And it is a new curriculum that is standards-based, different from the objective-based or the content-based that we're running time back. And so, as this being a sequel to the JHS one, we had to find out what really the issues were, and that from stakeholders that we had engaged, it came up that the kind of learners that were coming out from our schools were not meeting global standards. Again, when they come up, they were not able to fit into schools, like in the university, they were not doing very well. And also when they came out of school, they needed to be retrained. And again, there are a lot of global competencies that our students need to develop. Okay. And so some of those were some of the reasons that we needed to look at the curriculum going forward.
Well, we are going to delve into it because I'm sure parents are itching, students themselves are also itching. Let's talk about the kind of engagement that we've gone through to get to this point. Mr. Korte has tried to delve into the key objectives and the goals. Maybe you can add to that and then we can get into the details.
Yes, so maybe before coming to that, I would like to talk about NaCCA as an organization and what we do in NaCCA. Yes, NaCCA is part of the regulatory bodies that was established by the Act of Parliament Act 2020. Then we have Act 1023. And basically NaCCA does three things. One, we regulate curriculum standards across the pre-tertiary institutions in Ghana. Okay. We also regulate the assessment standards across the pre-tertiary institutions in Ghana. And we also ensure that teaching learning materials that are in our schools meet the standard of which the learner will be exposed to. So we also ensure that the content that will be delivered to the learner meet the standard that the country wants. Okay. So NaCCA's role is to regulate the space, and the role again is to guide and guard the space as to what learning materials will be out there, what curriculum will be out there, what kind of assessment that the learner will be exposed to. So that is what we do at NaCCA. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So now that we have the base, the foundation in terms of what exactly NaCCA does and what it entails. So let's zoom into this particular new curriculum for senior high schools. People are going to school starting tomorrow and starting this particular academic year. But I'm particularly interested in the stakeholder engagements that we've done that led us to where we are today.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about the work.
Yes, so we've done a lot of stakeholder engagement, running from chiefs running from, yes, we engage the chiefs and people of Ghana completely. We engage universities, university lecturers, EduTalk, GAWA. We engage teacher unions as in NAT, NAGRAT, and CCT, and then we also went ahead to engage parents. Okay. Parents were also engaged.
Parents were involved?
Yes, were involved. We also engage industry players also, yes, to get the information from them. We went ahead to engage headmasters across the country and their assistants. So we engage almost everybody, including select committee of parliament and everyone that matters when we talk about education in this country. Okay. So all stakeholders are fully aware of the new curriculum and what it entails and what is in there. Yeah.
How about the learners themselves?
Yeah, we've engaged the learners. During this stakeholder engagement, the learners were part of it. They were part of the entire stakeholder engagement. Okay. Yes.
Mr. Kwati, I'm interested. During that engagement, the extensive stakeholder engagement that we've talked about, what were some of the issues that came up? What level of buy-in did we get from all these stakeholders, you would say? Okay,
so like my Director General has said, the engagement came at various stages and at various levels and with various categories of people. So just like you have said, with students, this is the first time when we actually engage students extensively to the extent that even during the writing sections, we brought students to the writing center to actually engage with the writers. And it will marvel you the kind of things that learners themselves wanted to learn and the kind of contribution they also put up. Most of the stakeholders wanted to find out what was really new in this curriculum that we were rolling out, because for some, they felt that, it was going to be business as usual. Yes, but so for us, and one of the things that kept coming was whether this curriculum was actually going to shape learners, especially in terms of values. Okay. It has one thing that has come up from all of the stakeholders that we are engaging. And we said, yes, rightly so, because we are integrating the 21st century skills and competencies. Again, people ask what is new about these 21st century skills and values, because yes, for me as a curriculum person, I can tell you that since the 19th century, or since the world, yes, there have been skills and competencies. But we're saying that, yes, because we know that these skills and competencies are very relevant, we are becoming very intentional this time and not leaving it to chance, such that we have been finding ways of actually assessing these competencies. Yeah. And that is one thing that we are doing. And also make sure that, yes, we are able to develop the values. So, again, the curriculum is not only looking at what we call the cognitive domain, always looking at the content that we learners study, but we are also looking at the behavioral, social-emotional and behavioral domains, including values, because MFR, of what use is a qualified accountant or an astute lawyer? Yes, you are competent enough, but beyond that, what examples are you showing? How beneficial are you to your society? Okay. So we're thinking that this curriculum should be such that after learners have gone through this curriculum for a number of years, we should be able to measure. And how do we measure? We should be able to measure based on the kind of things we see in our societies. So when students go through this curriculum and our communities are still filthy, we still don't have empathy towards one another, we are still not being shining examples for the youth.
So all that is going to be in the new curriculum?
Exactly, that is what the not that it's going to be, it's already there. Yes, we've taken, yes, it's already there. We have all the Ghanaian values, part of the curriculum. Okay. Yeah, integrity, honesty, and all. They are all part of it, yes. Well, the values we share and cherished.
I think it's a good time then for us to delve into it. Yeah. What is new is the key question, because I think we've been going into it, but I think it's time for us to actually delve into what would be new, what's different with this curriculum, what was wrong with the previous one such that we had to introduce a new one that we are rolling out starting tomorrow.
Yes, so as said, this curriculum, we've made a very cautious effort to really include the 21st century skills. Yeah. So we talk about collaboration, we talk about digital skills, we talk about problem solving. Yes, of course, the world is looking for people who will be able to solve problems. So it's part of our curriculum now, and we have integrated shared Ghanaian values into this curriculum, that the learner, after going through this curriculum, will love his or her country better than how he...
Make them more patriotic.
Yes, make more patriotic than ever.
Okay.
So this is what we have, that is what is new about the entire curriculum. Yes.
So I used to do science, at least when I was in SHS. It was SSS. I was doing science. Yeah. So if I have a ward that's going to school starting tomorrow, what is going to happen? What should they know as they go? Is it subject-based? You've talked about the digitalization and all that. Should we be worried? Should they know what exactly are we supposed to know tomorrow, apart from getting my provisions and everything for them? I'm worried about their subjects.
Yes.
And I'm sure there are people that are concerned. What happens? Let's talk about it.
So for the subjects, nothing much has changed about the subjects or the subjects.
Okay.
And then the content, yes, the content has changed. Yes, to incorporate new skills and learning competencies. And then we also have a subject combination that we expect the learner to be exposed to.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you are reading science, we expect you, in the entire curriculum, the learner will be entering with, can enter with 7.
Okay.
Yes, as in minimum, and exit with 7. Yeah, so we are expecting...
So 7 subject combinations.
Yes, 7. Okay. No, for the entire, we have learning areas. Okay. We have the learning areas in the curriculum. So the learning areas, we have 15 learning areas. What we call program in the past, we now define as what? Learning areas. So what we have the science, we have your general arts, we have the home economics, we have business and all that. Okay,
so that stays.
That stays. But we have additional learning areas now. For example, global studies and the STEM-related areas. Okay. Yes, we have the STEM-related areas. So when you go to the subject combination, you realize that there's a bit of flexibility now. Yeah, so there's a bit of flexibility when you get to learn science. Yes, we expect every learner to exit with 7, minimum of 7, or a maximum of 9. Okay. But so within the space,
yes. I want us to get a better understanding. So we have a number of programs that we used to call it.
Yes.
So I would want us to start science.
Okay, so...
Science, for instance.
Yeah, so science, for example, we have a learning area called science. Okay. So we have 4 groups. We have group A, B, C, and D. Okay. In a group A, we have core subjects, which every learner will do once you enter that space.
Which is still the maths.
The maths. But what is unique about a science learner is that the line learner is not going to do general science or core science.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because that will be taken care of by the biology, physics, and chemistry, which is already in group.
So core maths, core science, they are off.
They are off.
For the main science program.
Yes, science program.
Okay.
No, the core maths is there.
The core maths is still there.
The core maths is there. It's the core science that is off.
Okay.
No, the core maths is there. It's the core science that is off. Okay. So the learner will be exposed to the physics, chemistry, and biology.
Great.
Yes. So that caters for the core science. Okay. Then when you come to group C, we have closely related areas to your learning area. So we have additional mathematics there. We have even food and nutrition, closely related to your area. Wow. We have electric and electronics related to the area.
Even
so the learner,
and metal
yes, the learner is allowed to move to group C and take some additional courses or subjects in group C. Okay. Yes. And then the learner is also allowed to go to group D. The group D, it's another pathway. You are a science student, but you want to do some economics.
Wow.
You want to do religion. You want to do history. Yes.
And there's Ghanaian language.
And Ghanaian language. So you are allowed to go and do that also.
Wow.
Yes.
So apart from your group A, you can do group B, you can do group C, and then group D.
It's only that you cannot exit the program with more than 9 subjects.
So in all, even though you select from all the groups,
you should be within 9.
9.
Yes.
Okay.
But the group B,
the maximum is 9.
the maximum is 9. The minimum is 7.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But mostly in the science program or the science learning area, group B subjects are mandatory.
Okay.
That every science learner will be exposed to. Yes. Okay. And the same applies to group A. But you have the option of making some choices in group D and group C as well. Yes.
Okay. So that caters for science.
That caters for science.
Is that what you want to add something to the science?
I was going to say that to make it clearer or easier for parents, because you see these subjects that we see, they are numerous, and so sometimes it gets a bit confusing for parents. So, but basically what we are saying, and my director has said, is that so we are not boxing learners into one learning area. So what we are doing is that, so for instance, if you're a science student, it will be possible for you to look at other areas, so and combine the subjects such that you have flexible and multiple pathways. So as a science student, let me basically say that maybe the science is your, let's say, your major learning area, but you have a minor area which you can choose, say from the arts. So you're a science student, but you can venture in some other area. So the schools should make it possible that they combine the subjects for learners to have these flexible pathways. Okay. Again, because we are looking at it from a broader perspective, the subjects are many. Yeah. But again, if we look at if we take a look at the schools, basically, so all the schools are not going to run all the programs that you see. Yeah. Okay. There's no way that a school will run all of the learning areas. But basically, what we're saying is that, say if a school is running 3 learning areas, the school should make it possible that it's possible for students such that these learning areas are combined for them such that they can have multiple pathways. So, say if I'm running, let's say, science, business, and general arts, it's possible for me to have an area where the science students combine something from business, combine science with general arts, based on the learning areas we have, so that they are not boxed into one learning area, and that is so basically that is the idea of what we are bringing on board.
They should have come when I was in school, you know.
Yes, like by now you would have been doing French. As
I'll be speaking French very well. So that takes care of science. Yes. I'm sure many students are doing general arts also. Yeah. Maybe we should take care of general arts also for them. Briefly, then we can do maybe business. Then we can take more questions in this area. So if we are ready, I'm sure will give us the general arts also.
So for general arts, you know, formally we have general arts A, B, C, where we have the languages, social sciences, and all that. Yeah. But we now have languages on their, languages on its own now. Okay. So we have general arts. General arts, over here you do the general science. Okay. Because you are not a science student. You do the core general science. You do English language. You do social studies, and you do mathematics. But we are also talking about physical education and health, and also robotics. These ones will be internally examined. They will not be externally examined. So we are developing a transcript system where every program that or every course that you take within the period of study from year 1 to year 3 will have it on your transcript. Okay. We are developing a transcript system. Now, so general arts, you have mathematics, social studies, English language, and general science. Then when you come to Group B, the learning area electives, you may have to choose 2 or 3 subjects.
Okay. From the economics,
economic, geography, up to music. Okay. So history. Music is there. Okay. Yes, music is there, up to music. Then when you move to Group C, you can choose 1 or 2 from Group C. We now have performing arts. Performing arts as part of the course, general arts. So from general arts, you can move to Group D. Group D has another pathway. You are a general arts student, but you still want to do some amount of biology. Okay. You still want to do some amount of chemistry. You should be allowed to do it.
And even agriculture?
Yeah, agriculture, okay. Yes.
But how practical will these be in terms of this new curriculum? Will the teaching be different? There's also some questions that people are asking. I've seen you've talked about music and all. are we going to do it practically, or it's still the same way we're going to just do it in the reading and all that? How different will teaching be when it comes to this new curriculum?
Yeah, so this curriculum comes with new teaching pedagogies and methodologies.
Okay.
Now, the curriculum is more learner-centered, which means that it is a learner that is doing a lot of the talking and then the action now. The teacher is facilitating and the lesson, and the teacher is also part of the learning.
Oh, okay.
So the strategies that teachers are using now is not the usual teaching methods that we knew when we were in school, when the teacher was always at the front of the classroom, and he's the what we say, the master of all that he surveyed. And sometimes the teacher asks the question and answers the question himself. No, that is not what we are doing now. Now we have introduced teachers to various teaching methodologies that is actually making learners to actually take control of the learning process, and not the teacher being, the teacher is only there to facilitate the classroom process, learning process, and also coordinate the activities in the classroom for the learners. Then let me just say that you mentioned what is actually new in the curriculum. Yes, and my director has already stated that we have brought on some new subjects. And one of these subjects is physical and health education. So we have two of such. We have a physical education where it's called that we'll do our normal exercise, playing football, etc. But then we also have physical education where a learner takes it as an elective subject. Instead, yes, so it's now physical health education, where they study it as an elective subject and then exit with it and can take physical education in the universities. Now, there are a lot of universities that are running physical education programs. I think UCC is doing it, University of Ghana, Winneba, and all the other universities are doing some form of physical education. And so we felt that it is good that the learners are able to start from the secondary school before they get to the university level.
Okay.
Well, let me add that for physical education, the elective one, we are going to examine it externally.
Okay.
Yes, the learner is going to write exam externally. Yes, unlike the core, which will be internally examined. Once you are doing physical education as an elective subject, you have to sit for an external examination.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
from West Africa examination.
You have to be very strategic in the selection.
Yes.
But will the selection be left to just the learners, or they would get help in terms of what the extra courses that they would want to take, depending on what the schools have? Would they get help in selection as well?
So the selection of the subjects is not left solely to the learner, because there are a lot of implications.
Exactly.
Schools would do the selection based on the resources they have. I earlier on said that it is not possible for all schools going forward at the same time run all of the learning areas. That is not going to be possible, right? So definitely, learners and schools will be guided in the selection and combination of the subjects. So for instance, if I am an art student, I will have an art learning area and want to combine with, say, some sciences, we should be strategic. Because, say, if I choose biology alone with some other, what would be the essence? But I can be guided to say, okay, fine, I'm an art student, I want to venture into the sciences. So we'll say I'll take elective maths and then physics, because I'm thinking that maybe I can venture into the engineering. Or I'll pick biology and chemistry. So the combination is strategically done so that it will benefit the learners going forward into universities. So it is not just that, it is left to the learners to just do their own combination that will not be helpful to them. That is not what we are doing at all.
So it's not just a CCC
kind of
thing.
At all.
And then wherever the dice falls, I just choose.
Not at all.
But whatever I choose going forward, with the help of the school, amongst others, would you say that it will shape that child going into the future
Exactly so.
Definitely.
So else what we are doing will be of no essence.
Definitely.
And in engaging stakeholders, we actually engage vice chancellors of the universities.
Yeah,
both traditional and the technical universities. We engage them extensively. So they gave their input into all that we have done. So it is not that NaCCA, we start in our own small corner.
Not at all.
Okay, like it's not like you are doing this just to impose upon us without
We've
knowing
engaged
what we actually need.
We have actually engaged the universities, and we'll keep on engaging as we go on. This engagement was done at different stages. Like I said, it's not that maybe there was some group of people we started with. There are some group of people, the engagement was done at a later stage. So it depends on what we are looking at and whom we are actually addressing or engaging.
Okay. The main concern also for people, at least when we talked about going to do the show, is also the issue about the training that we've given the teachers when it comes to this new curriculum. What kind of training would you say? What's the level of training that we've given to our teachers? Especially, we know that there's going to be a lot of STEM. We have robotics, amongst others in there that I've seen. What's the level of training that you say we've given to our teachers?
So the level of training we have established, of course, we've engaged the teachers and then introduced them to new pedagogy and different strategies of teaching. But we have also established CPD workshops in all the schools. And every week there's a CPD workshop where these teachers are always engaged and they're introduced to new ways of teaching. Okay. Yes.
So our teachers, you would say, are ready?
Yes, they are part of it. We have engaged them extensively, and we will continue to engage them. Yes.
So if I go to school tomorrow, I take my wards to school tomorrow, would say that teaching and learning is starting tomorrow?
The teacher is set to teach.
Okay.
Is set to teach because already the strategies we have introduced to them, they are already using some of them to teach the learners that are already there.
Oh, so the trial is already under?
Yes.
How long have we been trialing?
Almost a year. We've done a year in the 33 senior high schools in the country.
33 of
33
them.
of them.
Okay.
Yeah, we selected them across the country. We have even the A schools, the B schools, the C schools being part of it. Yes.
And what are some of the issues that have come up during this particular trial period?
Yes, so as and when the issues come up, we try to resolve them. And one key issue is about the inclusivity aspect of it, which we are currently trying at Mampong. Okay. Yes. So the blind learner is not able to do mathematics. Okay. Meanwhile, he needs the mathematics at a later part of his education. In terms of university education, he needs mathematics. So we have developed a mathematics curriculum for the blind, and we are experimenting it at Mampong.
How different is that one?
Yes, so we're using the Braille system and other modern devices to be able to teach the mathematics for the blind. Yes.
And materials, learning materials. I'm sure you want to
add
something.
I was going to say
that
because my director mentioned the blind, I was going to say that maybe you would look at that. So one other thing that is new about this curriculum is that we are actually very deliberate about issues of inclusivity.
Inclusivity, yeah.
Because we realize that, look, we are all candidates for disability anytime.
Yes.
If I should take off your glasses.
Yeah, I can't see
you. Yeah. So we are taking issues of inclusivity very seriously. Yes, when it comes to inclusivity, it's a broad spectrum of issues, but we are tackling what we can do for now and seriously. So like my director said, we are transforming all of the curriculum into a form that the blind students can use. Yeah. Again, we are also designing for the first time a sign language curriculum so that we can roll it out from the primary level upwards. Because in our engagement with some of the inclusivity schools, we realize that even there are some teachers who have to find their own ways of signing. So there are different strategies teachers are using to sign for those who can't actually hear. So we are taking inclusivity issues very seriously. As I speak with you, the curriculum for that curriculum is almost done. So that's what we are doing. And then we are training teachers, like my director has already said. Before this, we realized that definitely teachers needed to be trained. So way before way before they even saw the curriculum, we had started with what we call the PLC. So every week, teachers met in their schools to engage and find ways of addressing issues that came up in the trialing, because we said we trialed this curriculum in some schools. Issues about large classrooms came up. Yeah, teachers said, the classrooms are large. Yes, we know. So then we had to engage them how to, on large classroom management, the strategies to use to address some of these issues. So yes, we are doing our best we can to make sure that this curriculum rolls out with the minimal issues that can come up.
Okay, so I was talking about learning materials since we are talking about teaching as well.
Okay, learning materials.
Yes, so we have the learning materials, we have the teacher manuals ready that the teachers are going to rely on to deliver the curriculum as well. And then we have some other digital platforms. This time around, it's not always about the print materials. Okay. We have digital platforms where we have there was a hyperlink that will lead you straight to videos and charts that will help you to understand whatever you are learning better. Okay. So we have, it helps the inclusivity agenda also. As my director rightly said, the inclusivity curriculum is in such a way that as we are developing the sign language, normally in Ghana, you see that various institutions have their own signs and the way they do. But this curriculum is coming with the standardized sign language. Sign language, that what is being practiced in every institution is uniform, is going to be uniform now. Like when you go to South Africa, they have their own sign language. Yeah. When you go to the US, they have their own sign language. When you go to the UK, they have their own. Ghana is also going to have its own sign language. Yes, which will be acceptable to everyone.
Okay. Yes. So it means that nobody is being left out when it comes to this new...
We are taking everybody on board.
New curriculum. But let's talk about the subjects that we've introduced already. I'm sure you've heard the conspiracy theories also about the fact that it looks like this is more like a backdoor, that we are going to introduce certain subjects that people have spoken about over the period. They've said that maybe there can be an avenue for introduction of LGBTQ subjects amongst others and all. I'm sure this is not the first time you are hearing it. So I think it's a good time also to give that kind of assurance also. This is not a backdoor for anything like that, right?
No. I think we want to use your medium to assure the general public that this curriculum is bringing on board Ghanaian values. Okay. Ghanaian values. So there's nothing like that in the curriculum. It's purely anchored on Ghanaian values. Yes. So there's nothing like that in the curriculum.
Okay.
So let me add that in going around, this has been one of the major issues that especially the chiefs, the chiefs brought up. I remember when we went to Kumasi to meet them, it was one of the things that they raised seriously. But yes, as a curriculum person, when you are developing curriculum, you must contextualize the curriculum. So if even I feel that as a curriculum person, this is what must go into the curriculum, I'm not designing the curriculum for myself. Yeah. So if I design a curriculum that the community or the society will reject it, then what work have I done? So we are making sure that whatever things that Ghanaians feel that is not right for them and they don't want their learners, yes, they are the stakeholders for which this thing is being done. So we can assure the Ghanaian public that, there's no way we would want to sneak anything into the curriculum that would not augur well for our communities. We know how powerful curriculum is, honestly.
Yeah.
So we're not doing anything.
Well, and the criticism over the period also about the previous ones we've had is also the fact that children do not get that kind of critical thinking when it comes to the teaching and learning, and the fact that it's always the chew, pass, and forget. How different will this be? Will this new curriculum cure that? Because we used to, sometimes, I still remember some of the acronyms we used for, learning at that point, chew, pass, and forget. Really, will this change? Will this be different?
I must say that in this age we are in, information is so easy to come by.
Yeah.
Now we are in the technology age. My kids at home can just pick their phone and find answers to any question that you ask them.
Yeah.
So that is why we're saying that. So now the engagement in the classroom is more of importance to us than the answers we are giving. So the classroom teaching should now be about conversations for learners to be able to probe, ask questions. Teachers should ask questions that will make learners actually speak, give reasons for their answers. And so sometimes we have said that there is no wrong answer. When we say there is no wrong answer, that doesn't mean that if 2 + 2 is 4, and the learner says it is 5, then I should accept it. Then what we're saying is that I should give the learner the chance to tell me why he feels that 2 + 2 is 5. Perhaps the reasoning, here's the reason behind. Then we find a way of correcting. And so that is what we're talking about. We are going to make learners to be able to, cross the T's and dot the I's. Because we say we are raising critical thinkers. Why MFI, which critical thinker will not ask you questions? And that is the challenge we have now. So also be ready that the news items that you are showing now, my learners should be able to look at it and say that based on A, B, C, D, what MFI is telling us, they have issues. And that is where we are going. That learners should be assertive enough in the classroom to ask questions that are very relevant, especially in this digital world. Again, that is one very important thing too that we have introduced. We are looking at media literacy, right? So media literacy is one component of the curriculum, because these days so much is put out there that it's even difficult for you to tell whether it is true or not. You know what is happening in terms of media. And all of these things are the issues that we are making learners, equip them to be able to tell between the lines and not just taking things hook, line, sinker.
Okay.
No.
We used to be very timid in the classrooms, making it very difficult for us to ask questions. You're saying that will change, isn't it?
No, that would change. We have introduced a lot of exemplifiers that would help you to understand things and then ask the questions. Okay. And even then, when we expect that when you are assessing the curriculum, you go beyond the mere recall to create. But there's a teaching axiom, that is what we refer to as the Bloom's taxonomy. When you look at the Bloom's taxonomy, we have remember, then we have understanding, then we go to applying, then we go to analysis, we go to evaluate and create. When you are a teacher and you always go and ask remembering type of question, then the learners will chew and pour for you. Yeah, so we are expecting teachers at this time to go beyond the remembering type of question, understanding type of question. How are we going to ensure that? Yeah, so our assessment will be tailored towards creating, which will cause the learner to think critically. Yeah, so not as mere recall where you have some acronym that you could just recall and then write for us. No, we're going to ask the critical questions. There will be case studies where the learner has to analyze the case and respond. So there will be a paradigm shift when we even talk about assessment. Okay. It will not be business as usual. Assessment, yes,
because I have a number of questions coming in on assessment. I put all together, and you're asking how students are going to be assessed under this new curriculum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So will there still be an exams approach?
They'll be writing exams. Okay. They'll be writing exams, but there will be school-based assessments. Okay. Yeah, schools will also assess. Okay. Yeah, assessment begins with instruction, continues with instruction, and ends with instruction. In fact, for me, I always say that assessment is the instruction. Okay. Assessment is the instruction. So the teacher will do the assessment in the classroom. Yes, and this will be accumulated, and the external exam will also come. Oh, okay. Yes, okay. But we expect the teacher to teach beyond mere remembrance. Okay. And then go for high order domain of learning, which we call create, where the learner bears some originality to create something, not the usual recall. Maybe you say the process by which plants manufacture their own food is known as, then the learner puts it there for you. No, we don't want that. Let the learner discover the knowledge. Yeah, the discovery learning. We expect the learner to discover the knowledge, and also the learner will proceed to respond to issues of critical thinking and also try to solve problems within the space, yes.
And Mr. Kwoti, there's a question also about whether students can change the subject combinations they chose at the entry level. Is there room for changes since this is a new curriculum? Maybe I started and I chose a particular combination. Is there any point in time that I can change it? Is it possible?
So the way our schools are structured and the way our curriculum is written, it is not possible for you to say, I start with science, and then second year, I shift to something else because of the way our school system is structured.
Okay.
Our schools is not structured such that teachers have their own classrooms and students walk in to pick subjects and go. Okay. That would have been easier for us. It is the reason why we're saying that, because we know that students will not be comfortable with some of the subjects that they pick and want to drop. The reason why we are saying that, we'll give you the option from the beginning to choose from different learning areas.
Okay.
So that when you are going up and you feel that one area is difficult for you, you can drop those ones and continue with the ones that you are comfortable with. Right? So it's not, if we were doing the former ones where once you are put in a science program and that is it, you can't choose from any other area, then I would say that yes, it would be a bit difficult for us here. So in some way, we will try to resolve that, in that choose from multiple areas, multiple learning areas. So if it is the science that you think that you can't continue with, along the line, drop it. Well, my director said that yes, you can drop. You don't have to do the 9, you can drop. You can come down to 7.
Let me give a typical example. A learner doing general arts. So he starts with economics, geography, and government as the mandatory courses. He proceeds to do performance arts and French. And he goes to group D and pick maybe physics. So at a point, he realized that he's not doing well in geography.
Okay.
Yeah, he could drop it.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe, so it means that he has taken more than
elective.
9, he has taken up to 9.
Okay.
So he can exit with 7.
Okay. Okay. Well, but materials, you've talked about materials for teachers. We are really out of time on this, but how about the students themselves? Do they also have the learning materials available for this new, or they're using the old one? What exactly?
No, so what is happening now is that because we know that by the time curriculum is done, and between the time curriculum is done and publishers will be writing books, it takes some time.
Okay.
So we are developing some learning materials to take the gap or fill in the gap whilst publishers would be writing their books. And again, we have developing a microsite where we put all of the material, the learning and teaching materials that we are using in the classroom. We load them up on those microsites. And learners can access them through their tablets and laptops. And it has at a 0 rated, so that they are not charged anything once they access those resources. So for now, yes, learners will have something to rely on.
Okay. So at least tomorrow when they go, there will be something. But what's the assurance? Because we know that not all students are going to school tomorrow. We have a time frame. We've been told that up to November 7, students can still go to school. So what happens if you don't go tomorrow? Are we saying that serious teaching and learning will start tomorrow, or we have a window for the students to come in before the proper learning and teaching will start?
No, we expect serious teaching to start tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Okay.
we expect, that's our expectation, that serious teaching should start tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure this is not the last we're hearing about this particular issue. We'll keep on talking about it and until every student, every parent is clear in their minds on what exactly to do. I've seen my subject combination. If I was going to school, I know what I was going to choose. But, but we really are out of time on this. But thank you so much for joining us. Professor Yaya Jakaji is the Director General for NaCCA. And of course, Mr. Reginald Quarty, Director for Curriculum also for NaCCA. And as our students go to school, we are seeing that maybe I was hoping they could give you a perfect combination that they've looked and that works, but there's no permutation for that. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's it for EduTalk. It was a special edition that we had today instead of Probe. And there's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am MFR Pau. A Walk with Jesus is up next for our radio audience. Please do stay with us. Have a good evening.